Hi, I'm Calla Tufto. I play beach volleyball at USC, and I'm from Austin, Texas. There's many pieces of really good advice I've been given over time, but probably my favorite one that stuck with me the most, especially through college, is that progress isn't linear, and everything is kind of just a stepping stone towards your goal. There's a lot of really important things that develop an athlete that all go into training, especially this summer and as of late, I've really been focused on nutrition and overall well-rounded health, just sleeping enough, getting enough nutrients, enough protein, and just keeping an overall active lifestyle, even outside of your school workouts, your school practices, just going for walks, going to other workout classes, and kind of just being able to maintain that balance of both athletics and healthy lifestyle. So I like to cook a lot, and kind of some of my favorite meals to make are ground beef and potatoes, either just regular potatoes or sweet potatoes. And then I often go for like some sort of vegetable. As of late, I really like kale salad. But yeah, I usually make sure to balance my nutrition based off of my training I've had for the day and what's coming up tomorrow. So if I need to pack in more carbs or build up more protein for muscle recovery, I really make sure to kind of control my portions in that way. So on the court, I'm really focused on my technical training and really kind of taking that step back and focusing on what exactly the move I'm doing, rather than focusing on the result, especially coming into this next season. Going into fall, it's our off season, so I'm going to be really focused on the technical play and more of the development, and again, that progress rather than the end result, because if I stick to the process, focus on the technique, then ultimately the result's going to come. There's a lot of challenges through all of athletics. I think one I've faced the most is just reoccurring injuries, especially in my transition to beach volleyball. I grew up playing a lot more indoor, and the hard court had a lot more impacts on my body. I got injured many times there, and so I think kind of that constant challenge and just reoccurrence of fighting to get back on the court, fighting to get back to the place you want to be and keep going from there. Obviously, every injury is hard because you have to take time off, you have to sit and watch when you don't want to and you want to be out there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it really teaches you how to stay disciplined and also learning what your body's telling you, because the longer you're pushing yourself over your limit, then you have more capacity for injury. So I think it really stresses the importance of learning your body and knowing when to stop or when to keep going so you can maintain safe and healthy play. So my recruitment was a little different, I think, my whole year in general, because we were kind of just coming off of COVID. So it was definitely a break for all sports at the time during COVID. But I think for me especially, I really took that time to work on film, watch film, and do work by myself at home. But I think it was also a good time to get emails out to coaches and get film out to coaches, just starting that way then, because everyone was back to online. So it was kind of the perfect time to be able to communicate so much online. And then once everything opened back up, I really focused on going to camps, talking to coaches in person, and really just seeing what I wanted in a college and wanted in a campus. So I kind of figured out my small list where I wanted to go even months before recruiting, because I'd put in that time and effort beforehand to really discover what I wanted in a school, look through all of the possibilities. And so I think by the time recruiting rolled around and coaches were able to communicate back to me, I was kind of set in where I wanted to go. And yeah, I think I took every opportunity possible from calls, but I think just kind of going into recruiting, knowing the direction you want to go, makes it a lot easier than going into it with kind of no frame of reference. So USC was my top school from the start. I wanted, obviously, the best program possible, but overall, USC as a whole, it just pushes you to be the best, whether that's on the court, on the field, in the classroom, and just also as a person. They want you to be the best person, athlete, and student possible, and they really just give you every opportunity to do that. One of the big things that drew me in, aside from being at the school itself is USC just sets you up so well for the future. They have such an amazing and very large alumni network. Everywhere I go, when I'm wearing USC, I meet someone, they're talking to me, they're supporting me in every way possible. So I think it's just a really great space to kind of build you up as a person while you're there and become the best athlete, the best student, but then also it sends you off into the world and your future in a very high level. The biggest thing, especially in regards to beach in college, is there's a lot bigger players at this level. It's no longer a junior level game of kind of small, scrappy ball. Yes, there's a time and place for that, but overall there's a lot more power, there's a lot more height, and just overall a lot more physicality because all of the girls out here are very strong. So I think that was the biggest adjustment of still being smart in your play and placing the ball well, but overall just being ready to bear and kind of go with that more physical game. Main goals, especially for me and the team, we want to win a national championship this year and every year after that. USC is such a special program because we've won so many in the past for the years that beach volleyball has been an NCAA sport. And we train hard, we're ready to go after it. And so, yeah, that's my goal especially, is to be as good as I possibly can be for my team, to give everyone that opportunity of winning that national title, because the work comes from everyone and you can't have some outliers while the rest of the team is focused on the central goal. So yeah, I think coming into this next season, just kind of all gas and going for every opportunity and really just pushing myself to be the best possible person and player so that my team can do and have the best outcome. I've always, on the academic side, been more into STEM, and honestly, it was because of my involvement in sports and injuries, actually, which led me to go into biomedical engineering, which is what I'm currently studying at USC. And I really want to take that opportunity to bring it more into the sports community after I'm done with school, and I want to work in prosthetics and overall just making better opportunities for anyone who wants to compete in sport, whether they have some sort of limitation physically or just, yeah, something that doesn't allow them to have the same opportunity as other people. I want to give everyone that same opportunity so they can see just the overall importance of sport and how it really changes a person, how it makes you learn so much more about yourself, about other people, and how to be a team player. Yeah, so it's definitely a challenge balancing like very difficult academics and the top level program there is. But I think the most important thing for me has just been time management and just being able to do every little bit when I can. Obviously, like, we're traveling a lot as a team and we have a lot of games, we're missing class a lot. But for me, I try to get a lot of work done on the road, especially on like planes or bus rides if we're going there, so that then I can be, once it's time for game, I'm fully present and I'm good, but I'm still maintaining my part as a student athlete and contributing to my team by making sure I'm staying disciplined in the classroom and on the court. So I think kind of the term that others might see me as a role model, it's very difficult to describe just because of how great a thing it is. I mean, I know coming into athletics myself before college, I was looking up to all these girls, and now kind of thinking back that I'm in that same place where they were and that I once looked up to, it's really cool reflecting personally to see just how far I've grown. But it's also just very exciting for me to see all of the younger generation and what they're doing and knowing that all of their hard work is going to pay off and that everyone is just going to keep growing the sport and just overall college athletics as a whole. I think it's very important paying attention to personal brand. I'm working on it a lot more this year, but I think overall in college athletics especially, people from the outside get such a perception of the athletes based on their performance, and there's a lot of judgments kind of made about the athlete themselves, even though the fan doesn't know the athlete. So I think NIL and building your brand is a very important thing to use because you can show everyone around you not only who you are as an athlete, but who you are as a person and how that as a whole contributes to how you play and what you play for. And I think it's just really important for the world really to know you outside of the judgments they make about you. Overall, whether it's recruiting, whether it's training, is just really be open. Like, be open to any sort of constructive criticism, be open to taking new chances. Even if something's scary and seems like a jump, like, be open and kind of just go for it, because you never know where things are going to take you. And if you really push yourself outside of your comfort zone, that's where you're going to have the most growth. So I think it's really important, whether you're maybe a shy person or you're not as kind of outgoing and you're not as confident in yourself, I think it's still really important to push yourself outside of that box. And even in practices, challenging yourself to maybe something you're not good at, because that's the only way you can get better. So I think, yeah, just overall, really being open to what other people are saying, being open to feedback, like being open to almost criticizing yourself. If you're watching film, like, see and know when, okay, maybe that wasn't the right move. I'm gonna try this next time I get back out there. So yeah, I think just being open to working on yourself and just overall accepting things from different people. Hi, my name is Calla Tufto. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I play beach volleyball at USC.